don't skip this, because what I'm about to tell you might already be too late for some people. Every single day, rare state quarters are being spent like nothing, dropped into shops, given as change, lost forever. And the worst part? The people who had them had no idea they were holding something valuable. These coins don't look rare. They don't shine differently. They don't feel heavier. They look completely normal, just like every other quarter. That's how they trick you. Hidden inside tiny details, a small mark, a strange design, simple mistake can turn that ordinary coin into something worth hundreds, even thousands. But nobody checks. People rush. They spend it. And just like that, the opportunity is gone forever. Imagine finding out later that the coin you used for a snack could have been worth serious money. That moment, that regret, stays in your mind. And the scariest part is, it could be happening to you right now. That quarter sitting in your pocket, your drawer, your wallet might not be just a coin. It might be something you will never get back. So, before you spend another one, stop. Look carefully, because once it's gone forever. Stop right now, because that quarter in your pocket might be worth way more than 25 cents. Most people spend quarters every single day without thinking twice, but what if I told you that a modern coin from 2022 could actually be worth serious money? Yes, a coin that you might have right now could be hiding a rare detail, a minting error, or a special feature that collectors are actively searching for. And today, we're talking about one of the most talked about modern coins, the 2022 Wilma Mankiller Quarter. But here's the shocking part. Even though millions of these coins were made, only a small number have the features that make them valuable. And if you don't know what to look for, you could spend one of these rare coins without even realizing it. So before you skip this video, make sure you watch until the end, because one tiny detail could change everything. The 2022 Wilma Mankiller Quarter is part of a special series that honors important figures in American history. And because of that, it already has strong demand among collectors. But demand alone doesn't make a coin valuable. What really matters is rarity, and rarity often comes from mistakes. That's right, the most valuable coins are often the ones that were never supposed to exist. Now here's where things get interesting. The coin you need to look for is the one with a small D mint mark. That means it was made at the Denver Mint, and while millions were produced, not all of them came out perfect. In fact, some came out with errors that can make them worth far more than face value. And these errors are what you need to pay attention to, because they are the difference between a normal coin and a hidden treasure. One of the first things you should check is the design itself. Look closely at the details. Do you see anything unusual? Any extra lines? Any parts that look doubled? Because one of the most valuable errors is called a double die. This happens when the coin's design is stamped more than once, slightly misaligned. And when that happens, you'll see doubling on the letters or the image. To the average person, it might look like damage, but to a collector, that could mean money. So take your time. Examine every letter, every number, every detail, because that small difference could make your coin special. Now, let's talk about another error that people often ignore. Off-center strikes. This happens when the coin isn't properly aligned during the minting process. And as a result, part of the design is missing. These coins look strange, unfinished, but that's exactly what makes them valuable. The more off-center the design, the more collectors are interested. So, if your coin doesn't look perfectly centered, don't assume it's damaged. It might actually be rare. And then there are clip planchets. This is when a piece of the coin is missing, like a curved bite taken out of the edge. Again, this is not damage. This happens before the coin is even struck. And because of that, it's considered a mint error. And mint errors mean value. Now, here's something most people completely overlook. Surface texture. Run your finger over the coin. Look at how the light reflects off it. Does it look smooth? Or does it look a little different from other quarters? Because some coins have die cracks or die chips. These are small imperfections in the minting equipment. And when those imperfections transfer onto the coin, they create unique patterns. These patterns can make your coin one of a kind. And collectors love unique coins. Now here's something that might surprise you. Even a perfectly normal 2022 D Wilma Mankiller quarter can be worth more if it's in the right condition. Condition is everything in coin collecting. A coin that has never been used, never scratched, and still has its original shine can be worth much more than one that has been in circulation. Collectors call this mint state, and higher grades mean higher value. So, if you find a coin that looks brand new, don't spend it, because it could be worth keeping. Now, let's go even deeper, because this is where most people miss out. Some coins are struck on the wrong planchet. That means the coin was made using the wrong metal blank. This is extremely rare, but it does happen, and when it does, the value can jump dramatically. If your coin feels lighter, heavier, or looks slightly different in color, that's something you need to investigate, because that could be a major error. And major errors mean major money. Now imagine this. You're going through your change, you find a 2022 quarter, you almost spend it, but then you remember this video, so you take a closer look, and suddenly you notice something unusual. Maybe the design looks doubled. Maybe it's off-center. Maybe there's a strange mark you've never seen before. And in that moment, you realize this isn't just a coin. This could be a rare collectible. This could be something valuable. And that's exactly why knowledge matters. Because once you know what to look for, everything changes. You stop seeing coins as just money. You start seeing them as opportunities, hidden opportunities. Now here's the reality. Rare coins are still out there. They haven't all been found. They're sitting in circulation, passing from hand to hand, waiting for someone to notice them. And that someone could be you. But only if you pay attention. Only if you take the time to look. Because most people won't. Most people will keep spending these coins without thinking. And that's why the people who do look are the ones who find value. So don't rush. Check your coins carefully. Use good lighting. Maybe even use a magnifying glass. Because the smallest details can make the biggest difference. And if you find something unusual, don't ignore it. Because that could be the moment everything changes. Now here's your final warning. Never assume a coin is worthless just because it's modern. Because some of the most valuable coins are the ones people least expect. And the 2022 Wilma Mankiller quarter is a perfect example of that. A modern coin, still in circulation, but full of potential. So, before you spend your next quarter, take 1 second, look at it, check for details, because that simple habit could lead to something incredible. And if you want to discover more coins that could be hiding in your everyday change, make sure you stay connected, because the next coin we talk about might be even more valuable, and it might already be in your pocket. Stop right now and check your pocket change. That 2002 Rhode Island quarter you think is just a normal coin could actually be hiding value that most people completely ignore. Most quarters from that year are spent without a second thought, but collectors are constantly on the lookout for coins like this, coins that seem ordinary but can be surprisingly rare. Now, here's the first thing you need to know. The 2002 Rhode Island quarter is part of the U.S. State Quarter Series, which ran from 1999 to 2008. Each state got its own design, and Rhode Island's features the Pell Bridge and a sailboat, a beautiful tribute to its coastal heritage. Millions were minted, which makes them common at first glance, but appearances can be deceiving. Even though most people think of modern quarters as being worth exactly 25 cents, the truth is that small details, tiny errors, unique features, and uncirculated coins can make a big difference. A collector will pay extra for any coin that stands out from the rest, and that's exactly what you need to watch for with your Rhode Island quarter. First, check the mint mark. If there is a D under the year, it was made at the Denver Mint. If there is a P, it came from Philadelphia. The mint mark alone can affect a coin's collectability, especially if it's part of a rare error or uncirculated batch. Sometimes, small variations between mints can make a coin unexpectedly valuable. Now, let's talk about condition. Condition is everything. Take a close look at your coin. Are the lines on the bridge sharp and defined? Can you see the details on the sailboat? Or are the high points worn smooth from circulation? A coin that's crisp, with minimal wear and full detail, is much more desirable than a worn example. Even a coin that looks normal can be worth more if it has strong detail and original luster. Speaking of luster, this is another hidden factor many collectors overlook. Tilt your coin under a light. Do you see a soft, almost glowing shine across the surface? That's natural mint luster, and coins that retain it are highly sought after. A quarter with intact luster is much more attractive to collectors than one that looks dull. Now let's move on to errors, because this is where the potential for high value really comes into play. One of the most common errors to look for is a double die. This is when the coin's design is stamped twice, slightly misaligned, creating a shadow effect on the letters or numbers. If you notice doubling on the year or on the word Liberty, you might have a rare variety worth much more than a standard quarter. Another type of error is an off-center strike. If part of the coin's design is cut off because it was misaligned during minting, this can significantly increase its value. Collectors love off-center coins, especially if the design is still largely intact. The more dramatic the misalignment, the more attention it gets from the collecting community. Then there are clipped planchets, where a portion of the coin is literally missing. This is caused by a mistake in the metal blank before it was struck. A clipped Rhode Island quarter is unusual and highly collectible. Even small imperfections like this can make a coin stand out from the millions of ordinary quarters. Now here's something most people completely overlook: die cracks and die chips. These are small raised lines or bumps on the coin caused by cracks or chips in minting dies. They're not damage, they're natural errors from production, and collectors actively search for them. A quarter with a noticeable die crack can be much more valuable than a standard coin. Weight and thickness are also subtle details to pay attention to. Some error coins might be slightly heavier, lighter, or thinner than normal because of variations in the planchet. Using a scale to check weight might reveal a hidden rarity that isn't obvious to the naked eye. Now, let's imagine a scenario. You're sorting through your spare change. You pick up a 2002 Rhode Island quarter. It looks normal at first, but something catches your eye, maybe a small doubling in the letters, maybe an unusual shine, maybe part of the design is off. At that moment, you realize you might be holding something far more valuable than you ever expected. And that's exactly how collectors find rare coins hiding in plain sight. Even if your coin doesn't have an obvious error, it could still be valuable in uncirculated condition. Coins that have never been handled, never spent in commerce, and retain their original mint luster are considered mint state. These coins are highly desirable, even decades after they were produced. And a 2002 Rhode Island quarter in perfect condition could be worth a premium to the right collector. Another factor to consider is color and toning. While modern quarters are primarily silver-colored, variations in the metal surface can occur over time. Some coins develop natural toning, subtle color shifts caused by exposure to air, which can actually enhance their desirability. Collectors often prefer coins with unique or attractive toning. Now here's a warning you need to take seriously: never clean your coins. Cleaning might make a coin look shiny, but it actually destroys its value. Collectors prefer coins in their original condition, even if they appear dull or aged. A polished coin is worth much less than one that retains its natural surfaces. And even though 2002 is relatively modern, don't underestimate its potential. Rare varieties, high-grade examples, and unusual errors are still actively sought after. Coins like the Rhode Island quarter are a perfect example of how modern coins can hide value that's easy to overlook. The key takeaway here is this: always pay attention to small details. Check the date, the mint mark, the design, the luster, and any unusual marks. Look for doubling, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, and unique toning. These are the features that transform an ordinary coin into something highly collectible. Now, imagine going through a jar of spare change and finding a Rhode Island quarter that matches one of these rare varieties. The feeling of discovering something valuable in your hands, something that other people ignore, is exactly what makes coin collecting addictive. And that discovery could be right around the corner for you. Collectors aren't just looking for old coins. They're looking for coins that stand out. coins with stories, coins that have something unique. And the 2002 Rhode Island quarter has all the potential to be one of those coins if you know what to look for. So, the next time you find a quarter, don't just toss it. Examine it closely. Look for any details that are unusual. Even a coin that looks completely normal could be hiding something rare and valuable. Knowledge is what turns a coin from mere change into a treasure. And here's the final point. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises. Modern coins are no exception. The 2002 Rhode Island quarter might seem common, but hidden among millions of them are rare, high-grade, and error coins that could be worth far more than face value. All it takes is a careful eye and the willingness to look closely. So don't ignore your quarters. Check every coin. Pay attention to details. Look for errors. Preserve their condition. And who knows, your next big discovery might already be sitting in your pocket. Stop right now. That Iowa quarter in your pocket, it might be worth way more than 25 cents. Most people spend quarters without even thinking about them, but some modern coins hide rare secrets that collectors are actively searching for. And the 2004 Iowa State quarter? It's full of potential. Before you toss it aside, take a closer look, because what seems ordinary could actually be valuable. Millions of these coins were minted, sure, but there are hidden varieties, minting errors, and uncirculated examples that can make this coin worth far more than face value. And today, you're going to learn exactly what to look for. Let's start with the basics. The 2004 Iowa State quarter is part of the U.S. State Quarters program that ran from 1999 to 2008. Each state has its own design. Iowa's quarter features a map of the state, the American flag, a farm scene, and the words 1838 to 2004, commemorating Iowa's statehood. At first glance, it might just look like any other quarter, but appearances can be deceiving. The first thing you need to check is the mint mark. A D under the year means it came from the Denver Mint. No mint mark? Philadelphia. And if you happen to have an S, it came from San Francisco. That tiny mark alone can affect its collectability, especially when paired with other rare features. Now here's the secret most people overlook. Condition. Condition is everything in coin collecting. Look at the details on the farm scene, the map, and the flag. Are they sharp and clear, or are they worn smooth? Even a coin that seems ordinary can be valuable if it's in mint condition, with crisp details and original luster. Speaking of luster, tilt the coin under the light. Do you see a subtle glow across the surface? That's the original shine from the mint. Coins with strong luster are much more desirable than dull or worn examples. And yes, even a modern 2004 quarter can have luster that makes collectors pay attention. But here's where it gets really exciting: minting errors. Errors are where value skyrockets. Some 2004 Iowa quarters have double dies. That means the coin was struck twice slightly out of alignment. If you look closely at the date or letters, you might see a shadow-like effect. That's a double die error, and collectors love it. Another error to watch for is an off-center strike. This happens when the coin wasn't perfectly aligned during minting, leaving part of the design cut off. These coins look strange, almost like a misprint, and that's exactly why they're valuable. The more off-center the strike, the more collectors want it. Then there are clipped planchets. This is when a portion of the coin is literally missing. Again, it's not damage. It happened before the coin was struck. These mistakes make each coin unique and collectible. A clipped 2004 Iowa quarter can fetch a higher price than an ordinary one. Die cracks and die chips are another hidden feature to look for. Small raised lines or bumps on the coin caused by imperfections in the minting dies can make a coin one of a kind. These tiny variations often go unnoticed by casual collectors, but experts are always searching for them. Now, even if your coin doesn't have an obvious error, it could still be valuable if it's in excellent condition. Uncirculated coins or mint state coins are coins that were never used in everyday transactions. They have sharp details, original luster, and minimal wear. And for modern collectors, these are highly desirable, even coins minted in 2004. Color is another subtle but important factor. Most circulated quarters are dull or slightly gray from wear, but coins that retain their original shine, or even a reddish tone, are much more collectible. If your coin has that bright, fresh look, it could be worth keeping. Here's a question most people never ask. Could a modern coin like the 2004 Iowa quarter have a wrong planchet or metal composition? The answer is yes. Occasionally, the mint makes mistakes and coins are struck on the wrong blank. These are extremely rare, but when they appear, they can be worth hundreds or more. Now imagine this scenario. You're cleaning out your drawer or checking your loose change. You pick up a 2004 Iowa quarter. At first glance, it looks normal. But then something catches your eye. Maybe the letters look slightly doubled. Maybe part of the design seems off-center. Maybe it's shinier than your other coins. That moment, when you notice something unusual, is exactly when a coin becomes exciting. Even if your coin looks perfectly ordinary, don't overlook it. Coins in uncirculated condition with no scratches, nicks, or wear are always sought after. And because coins from the state quarters program are popular, collectors actively seek high-grade examples. The key takeaway here is simple. Pay attention to small details. Check the mint mark. Look for errors like doubled dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and die cracks. Examine the condition and luster. Even subtle differences can turn an ordinary coin into something valuable. Now, let's talk about the thrill of discovery. There are still rare coins hiding in circulation, jars, drawers, and collections. People throw away these coins every day. And the ones who notice, the people who study the details, are the ones who find treasure. The 2004 Iowa quarter might seem modern, but it could hold secrets that are still waiting to be discovered. Collectors don't just look for old coins. They look for coins that are unique, coins that tell a story, and coins with hidden value. Your Iowa quarter fits into all of that potential. And with the right knowledge, you could spot something most people completely overlook. So, the next time you find a 2004 Iowa quarter, don't ignore it. Examine it closely. Check for minting errors, off-center strikes, doubled dies, clipped planchets, die cracks, and color variations. Even small details matter, because that quarter could be worth far more than you ever imagined. And here's your final tip: never clean coins. Cleaning destroys value. Collectors want original coins with natural surfaces. A shiny coin is not worth more if it's been polished. Preservation matters. The 2004 Iowa State quarter may be modern, but hidden among millions are coins that could be rare, valuable, and highly sought after. And now that you know what to look for, you can start spotting these opportunities before anyone else. Check your change. Examine your collection. Look closely. The next coin you find could be worth more than you ever thought possible.